Have you seen? Because you know how sometimes they make like fake trailers.
Oh, the Grindhouse ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
Have you seen the one Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think that was I'm trying to think. Was that the Rob Zombie one or the Eli Roth one?
Eli Roth.
Okay, yeah.
This holiday season, prepare to have the stuffing scared out of you. Thanksgiving.
This year there will be one uninvited guest. You'll be coming home for the holidays in a body bag.
One uninvited guest had arrived, and this year there will be no leftovers.
And then the best one is when you see like this cheerleader bouncing up and down on a trampoline, and you hear white meat, dark meat, all be carved.
White meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
And then a knife just comes out from the trampoline as she does a split and lands on it, and you just hear.
Thanksgiving.
It's great stuff.
Have you seen
I felt like I was there.
When one uninvited guest had arrived, the table is set, the festivities have begun. You'll be coming home for the holidays in a body bag. White meat, dark meat, all be carved.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
You know,
This is Utterly Nonsense. Welcome again, fans.
yeah, so I'm guessing we're actually starting at this point. So the one thing that really bugs me about the Thanksgiving season, there's not a lot of good Thanksgiving movies.
We were just looking for some, right? And there's It's just like a Christmas movie.
first of all, we spend maybe 5 minutes before the beginning of every show just trying to find shit to talk about.
What was
'Cause
that weird
that's basically the
like,
extent of our
claymation
research.
turkey movie with like the creepy
I
animated characters?
know what
What are you
the,
talking about?
The chicken, not the chickens. The turkeys trying to escape from the barn.
Oh, Chicken Run?
Yeah,
oh, was that
Chicken
chickens
Run.
or turkey?
Oh, no, it's chickens.
Oh, I thought
Actually-
I thought they were turkeys.
They could
Well,
be
first of all,
turkeys, right?
that's from the same studio that did Wallace and Gromit. So, like, first of all, I love claymation. If I was ever to direct an animated movie, I would go for claymation. I think visually very distinctive, very cool style.
Must take a lot of patience.
Oh
Probably,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
probably.
But again, you have a lot of people working on these things. Like you look at Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox or his upcoming film Isle of Dogs. You know, just you can imagine just the amount of time that goes into these movies, and it just gives you a whole new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
So I
okay,
actually did a
fine.
few short claymations when I was in high school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, really shitty ones. But I'm semi-familiar with how it's done, and just to get to that extent is
Are they on your
amazing.
channel?
They are on my main channel, and I'll probably have links for that somewhere.
Links
They're
in the
pretty shady though,
description.
so I wouldn't recommend them.
This video has been approved for no audiences.
Yeah.
If your
Pretty
children
accurate.
are watching this, parents, get a hold of yourselves and get them away from the screen right now.
Yeah. Just you shouldn't watch
If
it.
your young children are on the internet, why?
Okay.
Have you seen things like Reddit? Have you seen 4chan,
Oh God, 4chan.
So much worse.
8chan?
But
What, you let them watch Yowie too?
Oh boy. Okay, let's not.
See, I only have
Don't
visual
Google
thing,
that.
or-
Whatever you do, don't Google that.
Yeah.
So
I'll leave
Thanksgiving
victim to
movies.
that.
Thanksgiving movies. Can you name anything?
Fury is better.
Can you name anything
hate you.
besides a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving?
I literally don't know any. I
Uh,
watch football during Thanksgiving and
You know,
eat
weirdly
food
enough,
without shame.
weirdly enough, and this is probably the second and only other time we'll ever talk about sports. Thanksgiving is probably the only time during the year that I actually watch football and enjoy it to some extent.
How much you
It's-
want to bet
it's
the
just a
Detroit
tradition,
Lions
you know?
are playing? I don't know, like they do every year.
well, what else do you have to do when you're all stuffed up with food?
Take a
I
nap.
don't know. Like, I've got a pretty small
Yeah, take a
family, all
nap,
things
exactly.
considered.
That's
So,
what I do.
no, it's just nice to see everyone, and it's actually probably my favorite holiday.
It
Just
is
for a
for
lot
me
of
too,
things.
just because I like
First of
Eating
all, I
a
like
lot.
to eat, and I hate being judged for it. I've got a ridiculously fast metabolism. Jack knows what I'm talking about. Us giants.
Dude, I'm 6'3" and what?
I'm
Like 60-something
6'2".
pounds.
I'm 6'2" and 160, and fucking I cannot gain weight. I've been underweight my entire life. So that's my one time to pig out without judgment.
Oh my god, yeah, it feels amazing, right?
I may look thin, but when I want to, I can pack it away.
No, I'm like extremely gaunt right now. Especially like I've been
My mom-
exercising regularly, and I'm not sure if it's agreeing with me or not. But either way, like I'm noticeably thinner than I was at the beginning of the semester. So
Yeah, my mom
Yeah.
has referred to me as a horse with a black hole for a stomach before on like Thanksgiving days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is pretty accurate.
like when considering I eat like at least 5 plates every Thanksgiving.
oh my god,
yeah,
don't
I mean,
get me started.
it's the best time of the year. Honestly,
Absolutely.
it's the best food.
You eat white meat
Dark meat,
and dark meat.
and all shall be carved.
Carved.
I do actually go for the legs. Really.
Do you?
Mhm.
You like the legs?
I love the legs.
I mainly go for the turkey breast.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
But I mean, why not have a leg in one hand and a breast in the other?
All will be carved.
Exactly.
But
Puns, people, puns.
Yeah. No, I
Also,
really.
remember to be thankful this Thanksgiving. A lot of people go through times and hardships. Be thankful for what you got.
Yeah.
I'm thankful we have so many things to talk about.
Every single week, absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck. I feel like I had something important to say.
I don't know, something about your weight loss.
Nah, nothing like that.
Next time on The Biggest Loser. We are all losers here.
I feel like there
Yup.
should be a show like The Biggest Gainer just for people who
Biggest
want to
gainer.
No, for people who want to gain muscle mass. Like I'd pay to watch that.
What we
you
call
know.
it? The Gains channel.
No, I think that's like a great idea though. There's a lot of like
sound like
skinny
a
ass
good idea,
people out
yeah.
there who
I'd
would
sign
who
up
want to gain muscle
immediately
mass.
for that
you know?
show.
Who's going to stick to GoMad the longest?
I'm pretty sure that's
Gum
that's
bro.
insanity though. Like the workout infomercials.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god! Like,
again-
I see what these people do. I'm
Again,
just like,
once
oh
you
my
get past
God, I
like
would
the
die.
fad diets, it's not that hard to lose weight. It's not that hard to get muscle. You really just have to commit to what you're doing. You have
It's
to
all
diet
about
right.
consistency.
That's really all
Go for a
that there
walk.
is. to
Don't
it.
lay on the couch all day.
It's not
by
hard to
myself
gain
here,
weight.
honestly.
Just you can't look for a shortcut with it. You know, you have to stick with a diet that works for you. You have to don't expect to just pick something and hope it works briefly. You know, if you're gonna lose weight, just like be consistent about it. That's all you can do.
And if you want to build muscle fast and or lose weight, build lean muscle, you got to eat big to get big. Check out Starting Strength, Mark Ripto.
Or body
feel like
change,
you're doing an
the
infomercial
workout
right
program
now.
by
It's
John
it's a plug for no
Cena.
reason.
Okay.
But yeah,
For the record,
I did that.
for the record, we're not paid.
we are not affiliated.
We're-
with
We're not at
Like
all.
we
Strength or
we get
Mark
no
Ripto.
money for this. So,
Not at all. We're not sponsored.
you know.
But hey, if you do,
What you want to do is master your squat. You see, 300 pounds ain't a lot of weight for the average male power lifter. That's average.
I used to be able to like,
That's what I'll tell
squat 275, but then I blew my back out.
Oh boy. We're using good form.
Oh yeah,
Or
I actually had
degree
pretty good form.
Okay, so
I don't know. Maybe it's just a case of strain then.
No, I hurt my back in
wow,
basketball.
Jesus,
that's the
how
reason
how
why.
the fuck did
Oh,
we start
sweet.
talking about exercise science?
Something about your fat ass eating
whatever.
turkey.
Like, small ass, tiny ass.
Oh, well,
But
mine's pretty fat.
yeah, I agree with that.
You've been lucky.
Feeling
So,
lucky.
any other Thanksgiving shit you want to talk about before we stop pretending this is a Thanksgiving special?
Which Charlie Brown was it where Snoopy goes on his doghouse and he pretends he's in a plane? He's like,
All of them. That's literally all of them.
the one where
No, I don't
Deadpool
know.
shows
I'm,
up.
I'm pretty sure. He...
And it might have been.
Oh
Halloween.
yeah, I forgot. Deadpool, the new teaser came out last week.
Deadpool 2 is coming.
No, it came out
kiddies.
today, but
Today,
for
last
the
week
for
when
our
this comes
faithful
out.
viewers, it was last week. So
Yeah, I didn't even know, and I just passed by. I'm like, oh damn, check it out.
Yeah.
And then we have a nice little Bob Ross intro, which is why we did that the last time.
Some
so,
nice pretty
so
trees.
would you like to react to that?
Sure.
Hello
Getting wet
there.
on wet with
Welcome
Deadpool.
back. I'm glad you could join me today. Let's just dive right in and run all the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me.
Oh, they
I'll
come.
have my regular
I really
canvas
love
here,
the references
wet
here.
and ready to go.
That's good.
So that's my
Let's
favorite.
grab our.
Well, like,
Trust
I mean,
men
that's
blood
the
with
best
trust.
era of sci-fi movies. You know, like the
Whack
80s.
that off real good.
You gotta whack it off. That's important. You gotta whack it off. You gotta whack it off
Yeah,
at least
you gotta
twice
slap
per
it
session.
around.
We're gonna mix that with just
Oh,
another little dab
don't eat
of
that.
our Betty White.
Reddit.
Now, let's just dance in a happy little sky. Now remember,
Titanium white
this is
powder.
your world. You get to make and break the
Two
rules here.
characters that appeared in epic rap battles of history:
Sweet
Deadpool and
baby
Bob Ross.
Jesus.
I feel like there's nobody who has
Wish I could
mimicked Bob
jump in
Ross
there
at some
and
point.
roll around in all that cascading white powder. Yeah, just get high on all of life's splendor. God, I love
God, I
cocaine
love cocaine.
so much.
God, I love cocaine.
Holy fuck knuckles, I am high as a kite right now. Okay, let's paint in a few little happy trees there. Nothing wrong with making friends with trees. Now, what you don't want to do
God, I want to fucking
is eat these paints.
The funny thing is, you can actually
Trust
tell
me on
he's
this one. Don't eat
painting
These
on it.
paints.
All right, I'm gonna whack off.
You can actually tell that he was painting on it there.
That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
That feels good.
So what the
What
what's
is
with the
this-
red
the
splotch?
blob?
I feel
I
like we
don't
should be
get
getting
that.
that, right?
Is it? Is it
Clearly,
turkey?
it startles.
I don't.
All
Yeah,
right, all right.
I feel like that there's probably going to be something in the movie that's going to justify that.
Ooh, pyro. Love it.
The blind
Well,
grandma.
I will say
Look
the
at
10
that.
seconds of
It seems like we
actual
have
footage
ourselves
we're
a
getting there
finished
was
painting.
pretty good.
So from
I love Cable.
And this is an awesome painting. This is an awesome poster.
got
That,
I
that
really
had
love
to take
that.
someone
Maybe
very
it's supposed to be a
talented.
turkey. What? Maybe it's supposed to be a
Bobber.
turkey.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be Thanksgiving related.
Lead engineer in the forge.
Camera 1 and camera 2, Wayne Campbell.
Bucket Parker. Oh, I can't imagine who that hand.
Oh no, I can't
With
possibly
Bug and Parker,
I can't
I wanna-
possibly
I
think
wonder
of a
what
single
that
character in
looked like.
Picking up
Deadpool.
some weapons, it might have had a little like electrical cable on it.
Oh no, I'm sure it has some sort of connection or cable, if you will, to the first movie.
Yeah, maybe it
Hate
links
you
to
both
something at
so
some other
much.
time.
You mean cables to it?
It's a good thing this movie isn't coming out in the summers.
Oh, you nerd.
You s-
you got it right.
quit.
Our first walk off of the season.
Yeah, how has no
I'm
one
back.
left this show mid-show yet? Honestly,
Um,
like we've done a lot of stupid shit to piss each other off.
I've
like
left it
I'm
off.
surprised we haven't lost anyone yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deadpool's
So-
gonna be good.
So first of all, I really love Deadpool. Like,
Oh my God, same.
probably my favorite movie of 2016. Probably going to be my favorite movie of 2018. Yeah, the trailer looks pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
You just gotta
yeah,
watch it.
just for the few
Just gotta whack
action
that
scenes
off
we
real
see,
good.
like so David Leitch. Do you know anything about his work so far? So he's the guy who's directing Deadpool 2. Tim Miller was the guy who did Deadpool 1, first time
Right.
director, mostly visual effects, whatever. So David Leitch started off as a stunt coordinator, has been in the industry for 20 plus years. Made his directorial debut co-directing.
Stunt coordinator, eh?
Yeah, like worked as stunt coordinator for the past 20 years.
Do you remember? I don't know if you saw that story a while ago, but they were doing some kind of stunt for Domino, and her stunt double actually died.
Oh,
It was like
Oh
a
yeah, no, I
motorcycle
heard about
jump.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty devastating news actually.
That's-
and Ryan
that's
Reynolds,
really scary.
Yeah,
Motorcycle stunt gone wrong.
yeah. Which again, that's the problem with doing practical effects. But the occasional like maiming aside, it always looks visually better than visual effects. So I got to applaud them for committing to that. You
One
know?
for the money, two for the show.
Yeah.
Three to
The
get
show
back.
must
Again,
go on,
like
as
my
the
condolences to her
thespians say.
family, but she probably died doing something she really loved doing. So,
Same way with Paul Walker, man. He died
Yeah.
doing something he loved too.
Cocaine.
but
No, driving.
so getting back to a less depressing subject, David Leitch, or Litch, I think it's Leitch.
Leish, Leish.
So he made his directorial debut co-directing John Wick, which you've seen John Wick, right?
Nope.
Yeah, you don't need to see John
Come
Wick.
I've
on.
seen part of it. Stunt's
It's very formulaic as far as action movies go, but it's as far
That's
as
not the
action
point.
movies go, it's a pretty
like-
good movie. It's pretty good.
Something
action.
that
It's-
Keanu Reeves did.
Yeah,
since-
it's
like
that was actually,
Keanu Reeves is
considered
great in it,
decent
but,
cinema
Your
making
Keanu
sense.
Reeves action movie. They might as well just title it that.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves in.
action movie.
Action movie
Yeah,
starring Keanu
So
Reeves.
he actually directed a
Starring
second movie this past summer, Atomic Blonde with Charlize
Oh dear
Theron.
God,
Did
why?
did not see it. I heard a lot of good things. I heard a lot of bad things. I'm focusing on the good, but
I'm not invested.
did you see it? I feel like you saw it.
No, but I did
No.
see some like not really MythBuster, but things about certain scenes where she's like whacking some guy with a heel, and they actually tried to do that, and it's like that doesn't hurt. It's just mildly annoying. Or they try to front kick someone, and it just doesn't work because there's really not that much power in a front kick. You could just grab the leg and move it out of the way.
Right.
But I mean, that's just movies.
Yeah, just grab the leg and watch out for the enziguri.
I think the reason why they did it is because they're trying to show, like, look, a woman is strong too. She can kick ass. Well, she wouldn't do it like that.
I'd rather watch Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass
no.
is a goddamn great movie. I
I
really
want to
feel
watch a movie
that
about kick-ass women. I'll watch Kick-Ass or watch Wonder Woman. I'll watch anything else.
Did you see Wonder Woman? I feel like you didn't see
I love Wonder Woman. That
Okay,
was amazing.
okay.
You've
Finally,
actually seen a movie?
finally a
Yeah.
movie that Jack Burns actually saw, that all of us actually saw.
Hashtag feminism.
No-
Hashtag feminism.
Yeah.
If anybody saw
I
the
mean,
Flash episode, you'll understand that.
Yeah.
I wanted
Yep.
to hang myself.
Yeah. Well, let's.
Yeah, I actually
not
put a
talk
lot
about
of work into
Flash.
BoJack
Let's
Horseman too.
not talk about
Jeez,
Flash. At
such
this
a good
point,
show.
for these guys, it's a week old, and it's actually, I will say, not
Please,
going into plot
just-
details. One of the funniest episodes yet, and I really like the direction they've been going in the season. I feel like it's not necessarily campy, but I don't know. I think it's a more
It's
mellow
funny.
direction. It's more lighthearted, and
Oh,
I
cool.
appreciate that. It's more what you'd come to expect from a show based on the Flash on the CW. You know?
I really like Elongated Man. He's a
yeah,
good addition.
no, Ralph Dibny. Yeah,
Have you been keeping up at all?
character.
Oh, I haven't seen anything since the first episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's
they'd add
actually a pretty good season
Elongated
so
Man
far.
to the team, and he's like this.
Who?
Yeah,
stretches-
it's basically the Plastic Man ripoff.
What?
Well, who came
Why?
first?
That makes no sense.
Plastic Man came first.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a funny reference that they're like, or Barry says to him, he's like, so we think we came up with a name for you, Plastic Man, and he goes, no, that is terrible.
Plastic Man. First of all, Plastic Man came first, more recognizable character. DC owns the rights to that character for television and film. So why the fuck didn't they do Plastic Man instead of Elongated Man?
They're reserving him for Justice League 2.
That just sounds
Yeah, that's what
wrong to
happened.
me. Just being spoken, elongated man.
No,
What?
it's
He can elongate any part of his body that he chooses.
Let me give you the key to the city, buddy.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Well,
No,
like, think
it's-
of,
his
you saw
abilities
the
are pretty
original
useful in
Fantastic
there.
Four movies.
Yeah, the one that was actually good.
Do you remember
The one that was better.
Do you remember the
let's say.
effects with Mr. Fantastic stretching? Do you
Oh,
remember
I
how-
love that,
How,
yeah.
how weird that
So
was?
he can do.
That was good.
So Elongated Man is
cinematography
sort of the
there.
same thing.
So-
Actually, the CGI is better than the Fantastic Four movies.
No, I was gonna say it looks way worse. but
Really?
It's still. Like,
No, I
it's
think
funny.
for a television show, it holds up really well. You know?
Oh yeah, TV, but
Yeah.
they're like on par.
Yeah.
And it's like 12 years after that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I would really want to know what kind of software these guys use. to, like,
I'd
produce
be
those
wondering the same
effects.
thing. I know you can do a decent amount of what they do on the show with After Effects.
Really?
If you can really get good with After Effects, you can do a lot.
I'm just learning how to make text.
From what I've heard, there's a software called Maya that's supposedly really great for creating effects, post-production effects. Again, I'm not an expert on visual effects, but I'd really be interested in learning more about that, actually. I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be a cool job to work in.
It's like when you're making your own videos, the more you know how to do effects, the more you can be like a one-man show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think that's really important for in this day and age because
Yeah.
everybody wants you to be able to do everything.
And you should be able to do everything. We are gods in human form.
All right. When did you turn to Scientology?
Oh boy.
Oh fuck, that actually is. Scientology.
See ya. Jack
I'm
knows
surprised. I'm
things.
surprised Jack actually knows like the basic guidelines of Scientology.
I watched a lot of Joe Rogan stand up.
Okay, so you
Watched
know.
a lot of Tom Cruise.
Honestly,
movies.
like
No, I'd rather not.
so without yeah, I'm not going to
Eyes
get into
Wide
too
Shut?
much controversial territory.
What?
Was
Have you
was
been keeping your eyes
Scientology
wide
featured
shut?
in Eyes Wide Shut?
Well,
I mean, that was more of a criticism of cults in general, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, not a direct response to Scientology, which
Scientology is
again,
kinda like a,
Scientology's not really a cult.
No?
I think it's old enough at this point that it's graduated to religion.
well, they do have one thing where it's like, you can't not leave us.
Yeah.
You must not leave.
Well, again,
what I've
that
heard.
that
You will not
exists pretty
leave.
much in every religion except the older ones tend to be more liberal about that. No, yeah, back in the olden days, if you tried to leave Christianity, you'd basically be maimed or hung or
That was with all religions
know,
back in the day.
absolutely. And it like that's the difference between a cult
In
and a
the
religion.
name
you
of
know?
love and peace, you
must
now
die. Yeah, absolutely.
Just let
Yeah,
a guy that's
just
pretty much so
that's just
like in every one person.
that's just
everyone
how
loves him
you
for no
know you
reason.
show God's
Wait till
love.
he
You know,
dies,
you gotta
start
hang
a
some
religion.
people.
Boom.
Yeah.
God
No,
says
but
don't
that's
kill.
that's
Okay,
essentially
let's
the
kill.
difference between cults and organized religions. You know,
Yeah, one
organized
guy's dead,
religions
one
have
guy's
just been
not.
around way longer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not to say people shouldn't have a right to practice those religions.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I
just
would never
you have
say
to
that.
understand where your religion's coming from. You know, you have to understand exactly what's going into that if you're going to devote your life to something.
Does this count as nerddom?
No, probably not.
What?
Probably not.
Who knows? Maybe
Though
sometime-
academia, you could argue, and that's more
Yeah.
social science.
Maybe
so
sometime,
my
like way down in the
expertise
future, if
is-
it's like Star Trek, where there's like, I guess, no religions really.
Yeah. for the
Talking
most
about
part.
this stuff
Interesting.
will be nerddom.
No, watch it just be everyone's a part of a fandom, and if you're not in that fandom, you're gonna die.
Well, I mean, in the
Oh.
Orville, they sort of touch upon that. Like, there's no real organized religions on Earth, but
Yeah, they do mention it in passing.
But there's the one episode where they go to Bortus's home planet, and
Bortus.
their whole society
Bortus.
is dependent
I
on
like Bortus.
like a lot of religious
I have
bylaws.
not seen the Orville.
I actually really like the
Of course
character.
not.
Well, you should
Duh.
watch. You'd really be into it. Actually, it's Seth MacFarlane.
I already know it that Seth MacFarlane's in it. I was like, not
been
shy.
No,
really
you'll like it. You should watch it. You'd really be into it.
We'll see.
Yeah. So
I've liked it a lot. It's
fuck. I feel like we were talking about something 5 minutes ago that was actually worth
Duh.
talking about.
Can someone rewind for us and tell
Well,
us
to
what
the
we were talking
audience,
about?
we were talking for
With
about
Deadpool.
like 20
Was
minutes
our
from
main
now,
topic.
but overall, we've been
was
talking
right
for the past,
after
like
that.
2 hours.
Oh, stunt, death,
David Leitch.
David Leitch.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Just to touch upon that briefly. So the whole reason Tim Miller was fired, or the whole reason
I thought he
parted ways, fired, whatever. It's all semantics. The whole reason
boy.
he was removed from the project was because he wanted to go in a more action-oriented direction, get rid of the comedy that made Deadpool Deadpool.
So
So-
make it boring.
So basically, the dumbest fucking thing you could do with Deadpool,
Because he just
or
wanted it
a
to be
character
more,
that's
like,
made to be funny and outrageous.
more summer blockbuster instead of kind of mockbuster. I
Exactly.
coined that term. I own that.
I feel like someone's definitely said that before.
Yeah,
but
probably.
you own that. Yeah.
I own it for today.
Okay, so yeah, I have no idea. This was what made the first movie, Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. that.
Absolutely. He was credited as a writer, credited as a producer, has been trying to get this thing off the ground floor since like 2000.
Probably since
Whenever
Lantern
X-Men
failed.
Origins came out, like, he was pushing.
2009?
Sounds right.
I'm going to say 9.
That sounds
Yeah, literally,
right.
how much you want to bet they just call him on the phone, like Hollywood saying, "Hey, yeah, so Deadpool's coming out." Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. Well, you
But,
know what it was when they leaked that test footage?
Yeah,
And everybody
well,
liked it. They said, okay, now we'll make a
Again,
movie."
it's pretty much assumed that he had something to do with the leaking of that, because I think only like 4 people had
Perhaps.
access to that.
I
And,
love how he stole the from the studio too. It was
no,
freaking
like realistically, he
hilarious.
probably knew that was going to happen. That being said, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, I think, love him or hate him, he made a damn good movie, and he is definitely the creative force behind that. Why he doesn't direct it himself? Probably just because there's too much work involved with that for him as an actor to handle.
Yeah, I
but
can't imagine like what it's like to direct huge things. Because
well,
for
what
us
it's like to
sometimes
direct
doing the
and
digital
act.
shorts, it's like
Yeah, no, it's a pain in the ass. Like
keeping people in
that's
line
why
is
that's one of the many reasons why I try not to step in front of the camera. I find like whenever you're directing yourself, you sort of lose objectivity. You sort of lose sight of the entire vision. And if you look at like some of the early shit I did in high school, like the early
Oh
directorial
my god,
stuff. And first of all, you should
Jeez.
never look at my
That's not
early
high school.
directorial work. But
bad.
anytime I was acting, like first of all, I'm a lousy actor to begin with, but you can't direct and act. It's like unless you're like
pretty
Orson
difficult.
Welles, who's a fucking genius.
I think
like, you're not
if
gonna
you've
be able to
done
do
like
it.
stage acting and you really know it in and out, and what it's like for other actors to get
Yeah.
certain.
No, I,
I
think
mean,
that
yeah, you
makes.
have to learn.
I
from all
think that's
perspectives
why
from,
there's.
the theater minor, like.
Well, look, there's a
yeah.
lot of great directors who started out as actors. Like Ben Affleck's a great example of that. But
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon doesn't direct, and
Oh, he
he's a
did.
shitty actor.
I like his acting, but all right.
He was good in Thor Ragnarok. That's all I'll say. He has a brief.
Ben
cameo.
Affleck
he
is
has
not
a brief
that much
cameo in
better
the
than
first
Matt
5
Damon.
minutes.
I'm
Quite
just saying
literally
right now.
Ben Affleck is a great actor and a gem of a person. A
I
gem.
prefer Matt Damon over Ben
Okay.
Affleck.
Watch Argo and tell me you prefer.
Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Well, now
all
we're
day.
not allowed to like
Er
Ben
day.
Affleck because I
Don't
know,
care.
he
because
grabbed someone's ass or something.
fucking that describes like 90% of people in Hollywood. And I'm not even gonna get into the sexual assault thing because
I mean, yeah.
Like-
should we? Nah.
I mean,
moving
it's pretty
on.
controversial.
I will just say
By the
like,
time this airs, there's probably gonna be like 5 new allegations.
it kind of just
so-
sucks that
What is this, Bill Cosby?
Well, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Marvel Netflix shows as a whole. I really like Jessica Jones. That's about it.
I still gotta
Defenders was
finish that
okay, watchable.
you like
Jessica
the only
Jones
one I
is the
haven't
best.
seen.
Jessica Jones is really good. Regardless of stances, I think you'd really like it. It's probably the best by
No,
far.
well, I just never watched because like I have no idea who that character is and it didn't seem that interesting.
That's fair enough. And again, she was the only character I didn't know anything about going into.
Oh yeah,
'cause,
same.
Like everyone knows who Daredevil is. Everyone knows who Iron Fist is. Luke Cage, you might not be as familiar with, but you've at least heard the character's name. Jessica Jones
I knew
is
he ran
really
the
an
comics.
unknown unless you're like a diehard Marvel.
Yeah, like when
Comics
I was
fan.
watching Defenders, she's just like kicking all these dudes around. I'm like, and they're saying, "Oh, she could beat you up." I'm like,
No, she
what does
can't.
she even do? I don't even
She's
know what she does.
like,
Is she
and
just
they really
superhuman
play on
strength?
this more in the solo
Yeah.
series, but she's
That's
physically
all I got. And that
like
her and Luke
ridiculously
Cage,
strong.
yeah, they get it on and break a bed.
I thought-
That's all I
Yeah,
got
no,
so
in
far.
Jessica Jones, like she and Luke Cage hook up, and she's basically the only woman who can take what Luke Cage is given because she's
Literally.
fucking, like as strong as he
Like
is, if not
literally,
stronger.
guys.
Wait,
Yeah.
literally or figuratively?
No,
Literally.
literally, because if like
No, she
Luke
literally-
was with any other
yeah.
one, they'd be
Basically,
they'd be
if
split in half.
it's implied that if Luke Cage fucked anyone as hard as he fucked Jessica Jones, like that woman would die.
Would cut.
There,
Would-
there
yeah,
would
they'd
have
be
been
dead.
something registered on the Richter scale.
Yeah, basically. But
Absolutely.
no, really good show. Interesting enough villain. Yeah,
Kilgrave.
yeah, like actually one
David
of the few
Tennant,
Marvel villains
amazing.
who's sympathetic, right?
Hmm?
One of the few Marvel villains who you can actually feel for, who
Yep.
had a fucked up
Jessica!
upbringing, who they actually developed well.
Daredevil season 2, which if
I
you
have
haven't
not
seen,
seen no.
watch
Again,
it. If
By
not,
this
just for
time, I
fun.
Again,
probably would
I'm
have
not a
watched
big-
it all
I'm
the
not a
way
big
through
Marvel
already.
Netflix
So
fan.
You saw it.
I'm not a big Marvel Netflix
saw,
fan. Daredevil,
Daredevil
especially,
season
I
2?
thought was way too
oh, I'm
slow.
halfway through that, honestly.
Okay, so one of my favorite scenes is right in the beginning, right when there's that meeting of I think it's like an Irish gang or something.
Ooh, yes, that actually is the guy that played Vincent Van Gogh in Doctor Who. So I loved the connection
Yeah.
that they did there with
So-
the Irish.
All we see, you just hear them talking like, "Yeah, we're gonna run this city," and then just bullets just coming through the windows, through the wall, annihilating all of them. You don't
Yeah.
even see who does it.
At all, and it's amazing.
But
It's
you
just
know who it
brutal,
is.
utterly brutal.
You know who the heck it is, and they receive their punishment in the form of summary execution.
The criminals will get caught
You know what's a funny thing? You ever
and
heard of
serve
the
their
tech?
time.
Yeah, sure. The thing that was a Patrick Warburton-led special now. Now an independently led superhero parody.
Well, it was
on
based on a
Amazon Prime.
comic.
Sure.
And in '90s, I think '94 something like that, it got a cartoon.
Mhm.
Cartoon, pretty damn decent. Watch that. It's great. It's like a parody of heroes, and the tick is just hilarious. So they have a
The
parody
tick, oh,
of
man.
the Punisher in it, and he comes in the first episode, and he's called Big Shot. And he just comes in with like these two guns, and he shoots like a brick wall into the shape of the skull, and he's like, "Why did my mom never love me?"
Oh my
And he just
god,
has like this choked up smile with tears coming out of his face.
that's messed up.
He's like the sickest dude in the show.
Oh, that's great.
And on that
Big
note,
Okay. Where were we going with this? Okay, yeah. So the one thing I was going to say is I'm not a fan of Marvel Netflix as a whole, aside from Jessica Jones, but Punisher looks pretty damn good.
I can't wait for it. So like at probably by this time next week, I've watched it twice already,
Yeah.
and geeking out
And hopefully,
about it right now in my house
hopefully
with my family.
the week after this is out, we can get a very big Punisher fan on with us on the show.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll try to do that.
We will
Keep it
see.
as
My
a
favorite song
surprise
has been
special guest.
overpopularized
Just
by
a
ogre
guy
movies
named
played by Mike
Steve.
Myers.
Oh
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for that,
Again,
you can
small.
find it on our YouTube channel.
Okay. Is that all you got to say? Or
Yeah.
anything else you want to say before we end this episode?
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Be thankful. Have a great Thanksgiving, and don't hurt yourselves on
What
Black
is-
Friday. That's all I
what
ask,
is-
guys.
All because you hate the music.